If you're sick and tired of squirrels destroying your garden, whether it's ripping up seedlings, planting things, or other destructive behaviors, then this video's for you. Because I've tried absolutely everything under the sun, from cayenne pepper to noise deterrents and everything in between, and only one thing works. It takes a little bit of work and a whole lot of sweat, but it is completely worth it, so let's get into it. When it comes to season-long or even year-long squirrel protection, the only solution for them digging up your raised beds, containers, or in-ground plants is a physical barrier. If your issue with squirrels is them digging up your seedlings or generally messing with soil, you need a soil level cover at a minimum, but not necessarily a full cage. If you find that they're consistently taking your fruit even when unripe, then you'll probably need some sort of a raised bed cover, cloche, or enclosure for whatever you're growing. This is honestly a much easier option because there are a wide range of pre-made offerings you can buy or many great and affordable ways to DIY it. You can even just wrap chicken wire around your beds, which I've done in years past to prevent peacocks from eating my peppers. I've tried cayenne pepper, super hot chili flakes, blood meal, diatomaceous earth, urine, and a variety of noise deterrents, and while most all of them work for at least a week or two, the squirrels either learn to deal with it or work around it. Even when I applied multiple containers of cayenne pepper on a weekly basis, I would still find that the squirrels in my area would just push through and deal with it. To be fair, there are 3 other things that I have heard of people doing. Number 1, giving them the deer season special. Number 2, catching and relocating them. And number 3, poisoning them. I don't do option number 1 because it's not allowed in my area, and I also live in way too dense an area for it to not impact my neighbors. I don't do option 2 because I don't really live that close to an area to release them, and also there are so many that this would basically become a full-time job. And finally, I don't do number 3 because while I do passionately hate them in the context of my garden, I still don't believe in poisoning any part of my local ecosystem, which is why I don't spray anything, including pesticides, herbicides, or what have you, even the organic ones. These solutions generally also work for keeping away rabbits, deer, and other curious critters, but today we are talking specifically about squirrels that mess around with soil. Chicken wire is my preferred mesh to use for this, as its holes are large enough for most things to grow through, and with some old pliers you can easily create larger holes for seedlings. I have tried casually drooping it over containers and raised beds, and squirrels still tend to try and crawl below, so what you need to do is get it flush with your soil or have no points for entry. Most raised beds are held together on the inside by a nut and a washer, which you can slightly loosen to help hold down the chicken wire. Alas, chicken wire tends to come in a roll and hold its shape, and if you don't want to slightly unscrew the top bolt on your raised beds, you could also thread some skinny PVC pipe through the edges or some heavy gauge wire, but I find that when doing full raised beds, this is the best way to do it. When it comes to using chicken wire in containers, you're generally cutting such a small portion of chicken wire that it can usually just be held down with stakes like you see here. A word to the wise, please wear gloves. I was working in the garden before this and didn't want to tear up my nice gloves, but I ended up transferring that to my hands, even with the utmost caution. Start with one side of the chicken wire where you want it to end, and then start clamping it down along the way. I already have some perennials at the edge of this bed, and the squirrels don't tend to damage them, so I'm only adding chicken wire to the inner portion. It is much easier to do the full bed, so if you don't have border plants or haven't planted them yet, just do the full bed, which is what I've done in years prior when planting garlic and onions before I started introducing border plants to my raised beds. To cut the chicken wire either at the end or in the middle, you'll want a busted old set of pruners. Do not use good ones, as it will absolutely destroy them, and I keep a pair on hand for this exact purpose. The chicken wire that I got didn't cover my whole bed in width, so I had to overlap a bit, and then to hold it together, you can either use random bits of wire that you have lying around or unwind some from the chicken wire that you cut up, though this is admittedly a bit tedious. You'll notice throughout this process that I'm also having to work around my irrigation, which are these autofill oils that connect to a central reservoir by way of this tubing that you see, but if you have normal drip irrigation or something like a garden grid, you can just add it on top once you've got this all set up. The edges are still popping up a bit, but let's get started on our seedlings. I got a few Carolina Reaper seedlings that were 3 to a container, so after pulling them apart, I started by cutting out a hole that was roughly the size of the root ball. I wasn't really thinking when I did this first one and cut slightly too big of a hole, and not in a pattern where I could fold the chicken wire back around the seedling. You want to have your cutout be just big enough to fit your seedling through, and then also be able to fold back some of the wire so that it pokes any critters that might find the somewhat exposed soil around where you put the seedling. If you're direct sowing, you don't need to cut any larger holes than exist in the chicken wire already, and most annuals don't get thick enough at the base to need it. I'm not doing it today, but I'll be direct sowing a wide variety of beneficial flowers in between these peppers, and so for those, I'll leave things be in regards to the chicken wire. After After transplanting, I gave these a good watering and staked up the ones that need a little help getting going. I do also add maybe a tablespoon or so of organic granular fertilizer to the holes, which helps get them going even though I've already fully prepared this bed with soil, compost, biochar, and the same fertilizer. After getting everything situated, I'm mulching on top of the chicken wire with straw, and my goal is to hide the chicken wire as much as possible for aesthetic purposes. If you're only mulching a thin layer, you will still see it, but if you lay it on thick, it'll more or less disappear, save for a few spots. And any squirrel that will try and dig around here will eventually associate it with failure. I've used this method of chicken wire draping with containers a multitude of times, and I've both left the soil bare and used mulch, and in general, squirrels will try to dig tiny holes the width of the wire from time to time, but they'll never do anything nearly detrimental enough to even disturb your mulch. The only thing left to do here is fix those ends that are popping up, as I didn't go edge to edge. And the trick here is to use a bunch of landscape stakes or staples, where you hold down the wire as you add them so that combined they have enough strength to hold it down. With my seedlings planted, my mulch on, and my irrigation hooked back up, this bed is ready for a wonderful season of growth without the need to reapply cayenne pepper or any other deterrent that could be washed or blown away in a week or less. I know it's tedious, but it is thoroughly worth it in the context of many months of growth. And if you're planning to keep a similar plant spacing next season, you can leave it be or remove it at the end of your growing season when you refresh the beds. I hope that this video has been helpful for you and that allow you to bypass all the stuff that doesn't work and get right into the one thing that does. As always, it's incredibly helpful if you both like the video and subscribe to the channel. And leave a comment down below if there's other squirrel prevention methods that have worked for you, or if you're ready to get your gloves on and get to work to keep them away like I have. This has been Aaron, aka Garden Zaddy, and I'll see you on the next one.